Well, welcome to Algarve and to our apart hotel.
And this is our home from home for the next month.
Or two.
Or two. And we are really enjoying it, aren't we, Norm?
Yes, we are. So we have a pool view. We've got the southern exposure, so we have sun all day long.
And it's beautiful.
So, Tine, what are we going to tell everybody today?
I think there's a lot of what I'm going to call top tips or things that we've learned since we've been visiting here, that if perhaps people are visiting for the first time, it might be really helpful for them to know these things.
So we're going to have a quick run through, and if at all you're confused, stop the video and make some notes. But here goes. So if you're flying in from the US, the UK or Canada, one of the best things to do is, if you can, fly direct to Faro. You'll gain an extra day, because if you go with TAP or Air Canada or one of the US carriers to Lisbon, you are going to have to sit around for over 4 hours for your connecting flight. So you've just lost a day.
Yeah.
And there's another big thing about Lisbon as well, which you wouldn't want to do, Tine.
And that is rent a car in Lisbon, because did you realize that you will be paying a lot more money per day if you rent it in Lisbon than if you get yourself down to the Algarve and then rent your car in the Algarve?
Now, there are a lot more companies in Lisbon Airport renting cars. But get yourself to Faro, and there are lots of car rental agencies in the car park P4. And they share one of these mobile type buildings. It's basically a shipping container. And there's a lot of freelance sales reps that work out of that with car rentals. And they will bring, if they know you're coming and you've booked in advance, they'll bring the car there, because there are no stock of cars in the airport.
But you could actually be saving yourself between maybe 5 and 10 euros a day by doing that, which could be pretty substantial, couldn't it?
Very much so.
Yeah.
We paid 12 euros for a rental car. We met a couple, they were paying
18 euros a day.
From Lisbon.
Yeah.
And don't forget, you've got the toll roads also driving down from Lisbon. So you may be paying just under 30 euros one way from Lisbon to the Algarve on toll roads. And if you take the car back, you just doubled it. So we recommend rent a car in the Algarve. It should be cheaper than renting it in Lisbon. And one last thing about rental cars, something to do with stirring the porridge, Tine.
Oh, and that has to be that you might be used to driving an automatic car, but you will get a standard when you come to Portugal, unless you want to pay a huge amount extra to get an automatic, but the majority of cars are all standards, aren't they, Norm?
They are indeed. Yeah. Now, the other thing you might want to pack coming over for Portugal for 2 or 3 months is your Fire Stick, because we follow shows at home.
Yes, we do.
And we don't speak Portuguese, so some of the TV shows are out of reach.
Yeah, a bit limited.
So we have our Amazon Fire Stick, and we put it in the TV, and the only way to make it work is to use a VPN. So that's why we always pack NordVPN with us. And it works a treat. And if we're doing our banking, we also use it for that. And then through the miracles of VPNs, you can change your location using NordVPN. And that way, if you want to watch Canadian TV shows and you're in Portugal, or you're coming from England or the US and you want to watch your local programming on Amazon Fire Stick, and on our Fire Stick we have the Netflix app as well. So the really nice thing about having NordVPN is the fact that if you get into an Airbnb or a hotel, you're likely going to be using their Wi-Fi.
And one of the things that happens when using somebody else's Wi-Fi, you don't know how legit that is or whether it's being compromised.
No, you don't. So it gives you that great security feeling, doesn't it, Norm?
Especially as there's common attacks like Man in the Middle, where the internet provider has put up a bogus internet just to harvest data from guests that are staying in hotels, cafes, Airbnbs. So we always use NordVPN, and what we're offering through our link is if you subscribe to NordVPN, they will give you 4 free months.
Yeah.
And best of all, there's a
money back guarantee, so you can't go wrong.
So thanks to NordVPN for helping us have an enjoyable time in Portugal.
Yeah.
With our Amazon Fire Stick.
And one news flash, it seems like United Airlines, starting in May, are going to fly direct to Faro. We're not actually sure which airport they're leaving from.
No.
We believe it's New York Airport. But if you can get direct to Faro, you're going to gain a day on your vacation.
Yeah, that would be great, wouldn't it?
What else do we have for everybody, Teen?
I think one of the things, as you know, we're staying in a apart hotel, and as you can see behind us, we do have a kitchen. And in that kitchen area, we do have a kettle, and we have a toaster and a coffee maker. And we also have a microwave stroke oven. Although sometimes we're not too sure how to work that, are we?
It's a microwave with a grill in it.
Yes.
But are we brave enough to try that? And also, the last time we were here, there was a rack in the microwave, and that's no longer there.
We don't seem to have a rack.
No oven.
No.
So if you see all those nice fritters in the frozen food department for cod fritters, potato fritters, you need an oven for those. Even some of the lasagna and...
Or even samosas or anything like that, eh, Norm?
Yeah, although we have in the past used a frying pan as a kind of oven with a lid on it. How about getting an air fryer when you come here? If you're here for 2 months, 3 months... We have seen air fryers, admittedly 1.5 litre baskets, so they're slightly smaller than the ones we have at home. €39.
So we are about to think we're about to buy one of these, aren't we? Because it could be really handy for the 2 months that we are here. So that is actually a big helpful hint for people.
It'd be great to do chicken in.
It would.
Probably wouldn't get a whole chicken in, but you know, we could do a half chicken or chicken legs. Would be excellent for that. And to be honest with you, 39.
Not bad price, no.
Not for 2 months. We'll save on the food bill.
Yeah.
But then we could donate it to a charity shop and let somebody else enjoy it that maybe couldn't afford to buy one.
That's a great idea.
Well, there's things like somebody near here loves tea, but how do you get regular tea in Portugal?
I have the answer for that, Norm.
Oh, you do?
And yes, this is because what you should be looking for is chai preto, or English breakfast, or it could be called black tea.
And there's different brands. We just know that we can get Tetley from Continent.
Yeah.
But there's Lipton's and other brands that are readily available. So chai preto is what you look for English breakfast tea, which is the everyday tea.
And it tastes delicious.
And then somebody likes to have milk in their tea, none of this half and half cream.
No.
Or you might want to have breakfast cereal with bananas. We've been having that to try and have variety. Yeah. So you don't have to buy Mimosa brand, but it is one of the more readily available, and it's working out at 89 cents.
Yeah.
Euro cents?
Yeah, euro cents per carton, isn't it?
For a litre.
So basically, this is called, pronounce it mio gordo, or basically it's semi-skimmed milk.
So if you just look for this description, Latte here is milk, but Mio Gordo is basically 2% skim milk, as far as we know.
And that's delicious too, isn't it?
And the other curiosity is it's not in a fridge.
No.
Because it is shelf stable. So don't go looking for it in a fridge. It's UHT, so it's ultra heat treated. Once you open it, you have to put it in the fridge. But you won't find those in the fridge. They're on the shelf. And close by to the milk that's on the shelf, not in a fridge.
Eggs.
So
that is true. The eggs are on the shelf, not in the fridge, are they?
That's correct. And that's because in Europe, they do not wash the eggs as they do in North America. So the eggs have the natural immunity to germs because it's on the shell. It's how it's meant to be. But as in North America, the companies wash them. So that means they have to be refrigerated to stop them going bad. Whereas in Europe, they don't wash the eggs. They just put them into cartons and they put them on the shelf and they're not refrigerated. And you can get medium and large in there. And the other thing that we have found, there must be a different feed that they feed the chickens because the yolks are bright orange.
Yes, they are. They do take quite a bit of getting used to, don't they?
And brown eggs are quite everywhere as well. So you can always get eggs on sale and you can get a half dozen or dozen packs. And this year we've seen packs of 18 as well.
Yeah.
So we just buy 12 large eggs and they're about $2.89.
Something like that. $2.89, pretty reasonable in price.
Now for your coffee, what you'll want to find is, if you're from North America, is half and half cream.
So, just to show you, because this is kind of quite unusual, they have a half and half cream in these little pouches. They're doing it so we could read it. Okay, so
they're like little pucks that you'd get in a restaurant.
And this particular brand is Milsani, but the technical name, let me have a look, Norm, is Cafe, that's what it is.
What Tina's not realising is these are German. And they're from Aldi. And once again, these are not in the fridge.
No.
In Aldi, but if you get them in Continent, slightly different packaging, but the same concept, they are in the fridge. So you can get half and half cream, and this brand in Aldi also has a little bottle of it that you can buy, which is slightly cheaper.
And you can also get that bottle too at Continent, Norm. So there's a lot of good choices for half and half cream.
So one of the things coming to an Airbnb or a VRBO or an apart hotel in Portugal or anywhere else for that matter is sometimes the frying pan gets a bit dinged up. Yes. So there was a non-stick frying pan in our apart hotel. We took one look at it and thought, there is no way we are going to be using this. It was cut up.
Yes, it was. Even though we had our egg flipper with us.
Oh, got the egg flipper.
We had our own egg flipper. Norm was not keen on the frying pan. So we went and we bought ourselves a brand new frying pan.
No expense spared here.
And, you know, it cost us €6, which is nothing.
And where did we get it, Teen?
We got it from Continent.
And it was the exact same frying pan that was here in the apartment as well.
But we will tell you a little story. When we were in the checkout paying for it, the people two behind us had exactly the same $6 frying pan, and also the sponges, because we no longer get sponges and washing up liquids, so we bought that too. So the people two behind us, they also had the frying pan, the washing up liquid, and the sponges. So these are things you are going to have to buy, but they're really cheap. And we feel great now. It's our own frying pan, don't we?
We just don't want to be eating the non-stick coating from the frying pan because it's old or it's been misused.
Yeah.
So we have a totally brand new one, and we'll just leave it behind, or we'll donate it to a charity store.
Yeah.
And we figure our health is worth €6 to have something new that we're not going to be having these chemicals from the non-stick inside us. Which leads us on to another point, Teen.
And that has to be, this is something that we have only just found out ourselves this year, because when we arrived here, the beds, I don't know if most of you know this, but the beds will be made up as 2 single beds pushed together, won't they, Norm? They look very pretty, but then how do you cuddle up to your better half when you're in 2 beds with 2 quilts?
And basically the beds have individual quilts on them. And so anyway,
I mentioned to Norm, do you think we could change this? So Norm Googled it, and actually he can put what the technical words are.
We'll put it down below.
And basically it means, can we have the bed made up as 1 bed? So he wrote it down on a piece of paper and we left it on the bed. Now we did also mention it to the reception people to see.
But we thought the piece of paper on the bed, because the housekeeping staff are Portuguese.
Yeah, they're great.
We came back and it was made up as 1 bed, and they'd gone and got a special quilt and
special sheets,
new pillows.
And it was like, we looked at ourselves and said, why did we never think of this before? Because we didn't know you could have the 2 single beds made up as 1 big bed. But now we know you can, and it's great, isn't it?
And the other thing that we do is that we don't have daily housekeeping. It's just too much. We're here in Portugal, in the Algarve, in Albufeira at the moment, and we just want to live as though we're at home.
Right.
And so we don't want to race in the morning, get in the shower, and get out so the housekeeping can come in. So we do it every 2 days.
Yeah, and it's working really well. So on the day where we don't have them come in, we just put a sign on the door saying, do not do not disturb. And sometimes we'll call down to the reception and just say we don't need them today. And on those days, we just quickly make the bed ourselves, straighten the towels up, and we're good to go. Then
we do have a clothes rack outside attached to the wall, so we put the towels on there. They dry in the sunshine. The last 3 days has been glorious sunshine,
beautiful.
Blue skies, 18 degrees officially.
Yeah.
But it gets to 20 and 21.
Gets really
and so our
warm.
towels are nice and dry, they're aired outside. So we don't need new towels every day.
And not only are we not having them wash the towels every day, we feel it's a lot more relaxing. We can have coffee and breakfast, just take it easy. So every other day works perfectly for us, doesn't it?
And we're still doing the Wordle, and Tina's beating me every morning.
Well, I try to. Oh, and we also, when we can, sometimes we get cut off the spelling bee, but we have been lucky. We can play Wordle every day.
We can. So we've been having a nice time in Albufeira. We realise it's not everybody's cup of tea, but we did run into somebody today because I was buying, believe it or not, hair clippers, because you can't tell, but my hair is so long. And we're going to be here another 2 months.
Yeah.
So we went and bought me the hair clippers I already have at home.
Yeah.
And there was a South African gentleman in the store, and he came over and he said, I've been watching you on YouTube.
It was really very funny, wasn't it?
So he was telling us about Albufeira, and he's moved out to where the train station is now, to Ferrier.
Yeah.
But he's saying that there's more going on in Albufeira in the wintertime than some of the smaller towns where more restaurants are closed because people are taking summer holidays. It's also the dead center of the Algarve.
Yeah.
So it's easy to travel east and west. And that's why we come here. We have noticed this year there are more people than there were in 2020 when we were last here.
But you know what, Norm? Maybe that's because we're making videos and telling everybody they should be coming here. And now they're all coming here.
And we never used to see anybody in this hotel.
And now we're seeing kind of lots of people, aren't we?
We were just stood in the lobby the other day and a young couple came by and said, we're watching your video. That's the reason why we're here.
Yeah, and they'd watched our video from 2020 and wrote down where we were staying, and now they're staying here. But what is strange is we will say that a lot of the people we are bumping into, and by the way, it's wonderful to meet you all, is nearly everybody is here for 2 months. And this is, I think, a bit of a sign, a bit of a change, Norm, that everybody is now coming for 2 months to escape the either Canadian or US winters, or even the UK winters, because we're really surprised how
cold
many
and
people,
rainy in the UK.
Yeah, how many people are here from the UK. It's unbelievable, isn't it?
So don't hesitate to come here. Somebody in the comments of our last video wrote that Albufeira is all cold and miserable and why the hell would you want to be here? It's the rainy season. It is the rainy season. But you know something? There has been a drought.
Yeah.
There was 3 days of rain, but it was just an hour a day or 2 hours a day. It wasn't involved.
No.
And we're looking at blue skies with not a cloud in the sky.
It's absolutely gorgeous, the weather. We're just loving it, and it's just like home from home for us. But it means that when we go out for walking, we're not slipping on the ice.
No.
It's beautiful. We can be doing 8,000 at least steps per day, seeing the beach and the ocean, and it's just wonderful.
So the first 2 weeks in Tavira, we had our winter jackets on because there seems to be a wind that comes down the river in Tavira.
It was a cool breeze.
It was a cool breeze, but it's generally the Algarve's got warmer in the 2 or 3 weeks that we've already been here.
Yeah.
But the funny thing is seeing the locals still in their winter jackets.
Oh yeah, even today where we're out in t-shirts saying how hot it is, all the locals have got their winter jackets on, and it is really quite funny for us, isn't it?
It's just a matter of degrees. For them, it's winter time, and for us, it's like springtime.
It's lovely.
It's been perfect. If you've enjoyed this video, we're going to link here to another video that will carry on with our story, and we're sure you're going to enjoy it. So, we hope everybody's keeping well.
And staying safe.
And until the next time.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.